making the crowd enthralled in his play. It looks like he's...
Oh, is he going Cammy? Is he going to beat the opponent every time? Is he going to pick the opponent's character that he just beat? Is he collecting souls here?
This is some movie, as you mentioned, he's collecting the souls that he's taken, and now he's going to use Cammy in many outfits. But Punk does play Cammy in his defense.
He actually does. We saw her perform numerous times, but yes.
He's going to show us how to use the V-Scale too correctly.
Now, the thing is, I do happen to know that VegaPatch had a long session with Hurricane's Cammy yesterday, so he is fresh and prepared for this particular matchup.
And what was the score in that one?
Very good question. I think it went back and forth.
Okay.
I think it was fairly even. Here we go. Lays down the poison. The Rio Bender. He's in the corner now. He's seeing pressure. That Grey Life is coming up when he gets out.
Yes. Switching positions now. Let's see.
Oh, great confirm.
Confirms, yeah.
Very, very valuable confirm with Cammy. Probably the most important one she has.
Oh, wow, just right over it. That was the minimum height that they could go over.
Goodness me, Rago, EXDP, Shata.
Now this is all preview for what might happen tomorrow. When people will go Rago, when they're going to use the EXDP, how well they're able to confirm their vegan pick.
And his team happy behind, Phenom clapping it up there. Look at this display. Are we going to see our first OCD of the night?
I think that Punk can do it with 4 different characters, collecting everyone using the previous character that he defeated. They confirmed on point! 3 for 3 now. And there was a moment in time.
He's gone behind.
Oh my gosh. He was looking bad. Trying to go with a Euro shimmy step. We just saw it goes through.
That's not for his troubles.
That is not a good trade. Warfong, he doesn't have life to trade anymore.
Punk trying to end it. Oh, he's confirm, and it's over, and he shakes his head in disbelief. VegaPatch is out of there, and Punk taking yet another Soulsy. What do you think of that one?
Well, how defeating must it be if you lost to, one of Punk's, I wouldn't even say tertiary characters, who plays the entire roster. What does that do to your mental soul?
Very interesting question. I mean, I obviously know that there is a general, slightly casual vibe to the day. Everyone looks relaxed. No one's really getting fully salty yet. But as VegaPatch steps off, it is time for the Evo champion to step up, because it's going to be Bonchan who's going to go up next. And we've seen these two go head-to-head on a few occasions. I remember the classic versus fighting grand finals when we saw that super sick Karen Nura from both these gentlemen. And this time we're in a team tournament where it's just one game to decide it all. Now, don't think that one game isn't important, because tomorrow, if there are any tiebreakers and the head-to-head count doesn't add up, we are going to a one-game elimination match.
That'd be sick.
Which is going to be brutal. This could actually mean something, right?
Punk asked Kawano.
Oh my god.
He did ask whether or not was a difficult, strong opponent, and Kawano answered easy. That Bonchan is easy. Oh my goodness. That's going to be an awkward plane ride home to Japan if they're sitting next to one another.
Punk is acting as the honorary CPU here, and he's asking what difficulty you should offer Bonchan in the one-player campaign.
Do you remember there was a time when Punk and Bonchan were sort of, Punk, an up-and-coming player, of course he had that dominant stretch, but he was really paying a lot of respect to Bonchan, and then Bonchan then sort of like passing of the baton continued a very long win streak, which is very difficult back in the day for the earlier seasons of Street Fighter 5. So between these two players, they have a long tenure of really dominating the competition.
They really do, yeah. It's almost like Punk at some point kind of passed the torch temporarily to Bonchan to carry with
Shonen anime, yep.
And here we go. We've got Colleen, though. It's not the mirror. Karen versus Colleen. Is this potentially a tournament counter pick we're seeing ahead of time?
Okay, I think this is why Punk had asked Kawano, what for some advice. Maybe he feels this is a good matchup, and it's easy.
With the blessing of Kawano here, picking his character as well.
Okay, we've seen a lot of blonde characters in these last few matches. We've got the Karens or the Colleens.
In the Oktoberfest special costume, look at this.
Now, there was a picture that Punk had tweeted out, I believe, on his Twitter with Kawano, and he said, #1 Colleen with the #2 Colleen. You have to assume that he was talking about himself with the world's best Colleen title.
He looks like he wasn't joking. He's got a heavy life lead on Bonchan here, the Evo champion. Look at this. But now, crouch medium punch confirmed. Gets a Tenko crouch, hard kick, crush countered up. Forced to the corner here.
Wow, the read and the chase of the double jump. I've never seen that one.
That was crazy. He was out the corner in literally seconds. 1 second for that matter. Back to neutral here, mid-screen. Oh, that sharp-in trigger is so fast.
But out of gauge now is Punk's Pauline.
And anything from Bonchan will do it now. One crash medium kick is definitely going to be the round. We know he's not going to miss the confirm. Oh. And there it is. Straight into CA to get the close. And that is first round Bonchan. Nice comeback. He was getting rinsed at first.
That was... You predicted that.
Tokido is fired up. Look at him. He wants to see Japan do well. His friend Bonchan in the chair. Taking the pressure here. First round to Bonchan. Nicely done. Great comeback. And we're going to round 2. Fully stocked is Colleen.
Now, I believe the reason why Punk, nice confirm there from Bonchan, had tweeted out and said that he was the #1 is because he, has a very good friend and a roommate in a nephew's Colleen. And so he has extensive experience playing against and both. Oh my goodness, but all that experience is out the door working on a perfect as Bonchan here.
Punk was reeling back in his chair after that.
Oh, the wake up desperation.
Oh, he got him. This is not over yet, Zia. Are we going to see a great comeback? There is only a
Where's the activation? Here it is. Built up plus frames.
Gets the forward throw. This isn't over yet.
No confirm.
Oh, no, that's Rosie. Oh my God, he might do it.
Oh, he had the jab hit.
He had the counter hit. He had the counter hit.
He didn't believe that it was going to hit.
And he almost had the EX. That could have been a great turnaround, but Bonchan really happy to take that one. And shall we have some words with Punk after that performance? Let's jump over to Kayane to hear from the man himself, the Alpha.
So Punk, why did you choose Colin?
Colleen? Oh, yeah. I don't want to...
you don't even know.
I don't want to play Bonchan in the Karen Mirror because I feel like I have a new strategy for him. So, in case we play a tournament, I want to save my strategy for a tournament.
You can't give a clue about the strategy?
No.
No, not at all. Okay.
I don't speak English, so...
Okay, yes, for sure. So what are you planning next? We have 3 players. Small, you're going there? How do you feel about Bonchan?
I feel confident. I feel very confident. So I was going to play.
So you're just going there. Okay, I'll let you. So much power around him. Yes. Yeah, you trust him?
Yes, I trust Smug to beat... He always beat Bonchan, so I think Smug went very easy.
Phenom, you feel the same?
I think Smug is gonna beat Bonchan again, like he did at Capcom Cup.
Yeah. And NCR, wiggity wash.
So Group C getting ready to go into battle. Smug is going to be going up against Bonchan here. We've seen these two go at it a few times as well. But what was interesting there is Punk is clearly hiding some strategy. The prestige of being the Red Bull Kumite champion is above all.
This is true. You don't want to show your entire hand. You do want to show some strength. It just dawned on me how young this group is. I don't know what the average age, but I think one way of knowing that is none of them use the archaic, the dinosaur of a tool of the fight stick at all.
Yes, the control pad has become very, very popular in modern times on every fighting game under the sun. And more and more players are winning these massive major tournaments, these EVOs and stuff, on control pads, which is something that people thought wasn't possible once upon a time.
It was actually looked down upon if you had a pad. It was cast in derogatory light, and now there's even a more advanced tool.
Yes.
Of course, you have Kawano and both Tokido using the hitbox. Do you think that this is a glimpse into the future? You've got Daigo practicing with it as well.
Yes.
What do you make of this new device from the aliens?
I think this is definitely a mark of the future. We're going to see more and more on this come out in abundance, where we see different games coming in, Guilty Gear Strive, etc. Lots of button-heavy games we're seeing infiltrate the fighting game community, and we're going to see a multitude of controllers become more and more popular. I think it's a great thing. The more the merrier, as they say, and having different ways to utilize the character.
Speaking of more the merrier, you have Sagat on the screen. I know that you play this character. What do you make of this matchup with G? Of course, he wearing the mask from Jim Carrey?
I don't want to be there where Sagat is now. That's what I make of it. If there's anywhere I don't want to be, it's there. But if there's any man who can weather the storm of the corner, it is Bonchan. And look at him go to work right now. V-trigger 2 on deck. Tiger knee dashes up for Oki. Crouch medium.
Oh, try to charge for it.
He held that a bit longer. He could have had the combo. G now to open him up. Dashes in.
And G, one of the characters that really benefited from the patch.
Oh
my gosh.
Acting like you won't get command grab, and Smug seals the first round. This guy has been secretly training, or we don't even know, we haven't seen him. He's just been hibernating, and he's just come out and he's ready to perform. He's looking at the form here. Crush countering up, making him lose meter and get slapped in the face at the same time.
I don't even know if Smug has caught up with how strong G is now, because we just didn't see any action from him, whether it be in the casual fights. He just wasn't around.
He did his homework, you can clearly see that.
This is going to be punished.
Yep, gets a Tiger knee, dashes up.
Oh!
Tried the instant jump light kick. Got the trade going.
Oh, that's going to hurt with a jump back, medium.
Oh, interrupts with the crouch jab. And look at the carry here.
Really great defense from Bonchan.
Get off me.
Oh, the dash.
He checked the dash. A trade's enough. Bonchan will take that all day. Final round. Bonchan backing up, trying to stay at that optimal space. The Tiger shot is a good option. And look at that. Straight through.
Saw the fireball.
Another command grab. Oh, there's a second throw. We're going to see a third. Oh, he could have been. Bonchan, the ever patient, gets the EX Tiger knee out the corner, jumps over. There's a tech, and he checks the dash beautifully here.
3 jabs, 4 jabs. How will Smug fight his way out of the corner? That's guaranteed. Oh, another meaty.
That's going to be it.
Charging up.
EX uppercut.
Oh, wait, the Pixel.
Oh, Pixel in the dream. Oh, dream became a nightmare very quickly there.
Bonchan goes down.
Very happy with that result. Smug will have to take the back seat of the bench after that, but definitely looking strong, I have to say. Even in that one game, it's enough to see that he's done his homework and he's ready. But now it's time for Kawano, the hitbox man himself here, to step on board.
Kawano was really one of the first players ever to show this tool, and then I feel like he started a fad. He was an influencer. But let's go to Kawano's team, who is waiting in the back, and we're going to hear from Smug.
I want to hear from Smug, because that's the first time we've seen him play all week. Let's get some words from Smug. Over to Kayane.
I need to ask you, you were so confident. You're like, yeah, I'm going to beat Bonchan. What happened?
You know, the sun was in my eyes, so that happens. You know, I lost to Mother Nature. But good games.
Oh, God. So, how do you feel about Kawano, then?
I think Kawano, #1 Japanese player.
#1! You're right? What?
Yes, I am #1.
#1 in Japan, right? Because you're #1 in the world, right?
Yes. No, but right now I think Kawano #1 in world. So I think he beat Bonchan and Tokido very easy.
世界の#1. Yes. 頑張って.
So,
I like
the poker face from Tokido. He didn't flinch. There wasn't a single facial muscle that moved or changed position.
I like how Punk is trying to sow discontent, disharmony among the Japanese players by, you know, getting Kawano to say some pretty bombastic things. #1 in Japan.
He was up for it though. He was like, yes, you are right, I am #1. He was all over it.
Now, this is going to be a very long flight. I believe it's at least 15 hours. But how do you deal with that? Especially given the seniority of the other 2 players. And, of course, there is that sort of hierarchy, and you got to pay respect to the senpais. How is Kawano ever going to face his elders back in Japan?
Hey, this is frontline, fresh out the trenches, man. They're at battle, and all is fair in love and war. I love it. More of that. We need more of that. More arms house in London City.
I'm really fearful for that.
I mean, if anything, this only pumps them up to do even better than they would normally do, right? You need a bit of that energy coming into it just to make sure that the matches stay at premium quality, and I'm all over it.
I've heard Kawano speak to, you know, both Tokido and Bonchan. He definitely uses the polite, honorific form while speaking Japanese. So I'm wondering how that dynamic must have been totally upended just now. Can you recover from that?
I mean, well, you know, what you have to look at is he's up and coming, right? He's made a mark for himself, but he's only at a certain place. These two, Bonchan and Tokido, are at the top, the very, very top of the totem pole. And he's got them in his sights as players that he does want to knock off of that position at some point. That's always going to be a thing. Tokido and Bonchan, consummate professionals, they know that they have crosshairs on them at all times. That's why this stuff doesn't bother them whatsoever.
Well, Kawano is actually the senpai if it, as it concerns the hitbox. He's actually the veteran there. But I wanted to ask you, in typical anime fashion, at some point the protagonist will go beyond the sensei, the senpai, the shisho. When did you know? I don't know who your mentor was in your tale of the fighting game story, but when do you, if you're Kawano and you're really young, how do you know that you have surpassed, or when do you think it's time to just stop giving all-out respect and actually try your hand at it so that you could prove that you have, gone over it?
There's definitely a place where you step into a new terrain, new territory, and you're on foreign soil, and you have a degree of respect because you know that you are the fresh meat for the grinder, you are the cannon fodder. Yeah, and you have to have that mindset of humility and modesty when you go in. It doesn't matter if you go in all guns blazing, all aggro, and all aggressive, because you will get humbled very, very quickly. So there is a place where you get to in your training where you recognize you're making progress, you're starting to improve, you're starting to be able to beat those guys who are in that average mid-tier level that could always beat you before. And at some point, there's a time that comes upon you where you recognize that, hang on, I can hang with these guys.
Right.
These guys who used to destroy me and send me walking home with no bus fare because I'd spent everything trying to beat them at the arcade. There's a time where you recognize I can hang with these guys, and then comes the time where it's tournament and you meet this guy in the grand finals, and then it's all to play for. But your homework. One thing about this stuff is hard work does not tell lies, and when you do that work, the result comes afterwards.
I want to know, because I've heard that you are also a martial arts practitioner. Is it the same thing? Like, when do you, need to break free from just being, the white belt in the dojo and, challenge the master for the belt to inherit the dojo itself?
I think in martial arts it's a lot different. First and foremost, there's a big difference between studying martial arts and being a martial artist. Those are two very, very different things. In terms of challenging the master, I'm not sure if that's the ultimate goal. I think the ultimate goal is to obtain knowledge and perfect your own personal craft. Everyone has their own creative expression in every single martial art, and that's why it's not necessarily about trying to be better than any specific person in the dojo. There's always a respectful form in the dojo, but at the same time, there's always that very healthy competition about where you stand in that hierarchy in the dojo, and but ultimately these are only things you use to perfect your own craft.
Well, I've definitely been misled by the tropes in anime, thinking that everything was challenging.
Yeah, there are no Fengwei stories of killing the master and then running away from it just doesn't work like that. I think there's always an element of respect because you respect the art form and you respect the dojo itself.
Speaking of dojos, in Street Fighter V, of course, there are, you can create dojos. Any interesting ones that you've seen online?
In terms of Street Fighter dojos, or what are we talking about?
Street Fighter dojos.
In terms of names, I mean, I like Winner Stays On. I think that's an amazing dojo. I think everyone needs to watch every Winner Stays On player match if they see that hanging around. And there was some interesting one. I saw Only Dan's. Thought that was quite funny, Only Dan's. There are some very humorous ones out there. I like the concept. I like the idea that we bunch together with players that we want to rep for, and we become a team, and there's some unity there, and you can share tactics and strategy. I think that's a great thing moving forward for the future of Street Fighter. And playing games in general.
Going back to the martial arts, I want to understand, because I think that there's a connection there, right? It's about the fighting games and also the martial arts. Leaving the differences aside, I want to know, what are the similarities in training for both, to be a top player and to be a top martial artist?
The similarities are that the mind conquers all in both. If you can conquer the mind, you've won. That's the most important aspect of both of those. In each conquest, if you can conquer the opponent's mind, you've won. It doesn't matter if they know more tech than you. It doesn't matter if they've got better reactions, if they're more experienced, whatever. If you can infiltrate that mind space, that comfortable zoning area where they feel confident, because confidence comes from the mind. And that expression doesn't have freedom if someone's in there living, as they say in modern times, rent-free.
Well, let's see if those mind games are going to be playing out. The players are finally locked and loaded. Tell me a little bit about the V-Skill 2, the man-human charge there from Sagat. Again, the purpose of the update patch was to give more shine to these often underused V-Skills.
Yes, so of course we know that Sagat is a slow tank. He does have health. He ends up a lot in the corner without a use to gain ground. And Tiger Knee is one of the most most important, if not the most important tool he has in offense to gain ground and get damage and knock the opponent down. So improving that just allows him a little bit more mobility, and having it be safer with the Hanuman charge is really, really cool for combos. And just having a bit of freedom, something for the opponent to be aware of. It's like, he's got the charge now, I can't just run in all willy-nilly, I have to think about it and stuff like that. Kawano has been practicing this matchup. Yes, he was already aware that this was going to be an issue for him, and he prepared, he did actually prepare to come and play his Sagat with poison. With poison. He said, if I play him in the tournament, it's good. So this is 100%
mind games like you were talking about?
Yes, this is the psychological warfare begun already before the main event tomorrow.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Now, how difficult is it? Well, we saw that right there. He ended the first round, and then Bonchan did it again.
Yes.
To do the, you guys call it the cross cut or the autocorrect DP. He's so consistent with it.
He is.
But as a Sagat player, how difficult is that?
With Sagat, it's slightly more difficult because of his crazy height. But it is possible. Sometimes you have to slightly edge yourself forward a bit for the cross cut. But Sagat can cross cut very, very nicely indeed, and can cross cut into CA as well, which is also an important tool for maximizing damage in one opportunity.
Oh my goodness.
It looks
like
maximizing damage. Look at this. Colleen.
Down on life, unable, okay, with that
wait a
cheeky
second.
dash. All right, here comes the corner pressure that we spoke about.
Bonchan's out of there. He's got all his space back now. He's happy with that. Oh, but there's a back throw. That'll turn the tide. Oh,
good blocks.
One more hit's going to do it for Bonchan. Going to try and keep it as safe as possible here. Oh, he goes for the throw. Nice tech from Kawano there, staying alive.
Okay, gets an opening.
The crouch hard kick. This is a chance now. No meter for Bonchan.
Oh, then the counter.
Oh my days, the meaty crouch medium punch.
And Kawano looking back at his team and saying easy with the thumbs up.
Okay, Kawano now. You can see confidence building. Oh, there's the uppercut. That was so brave.
You just cannot get around Bonchan Sagat. Or you're going to take some damage for it. Yep.
Protecting those skies. He's walking him down, but he's taking damage on the way. Oh, he almost got a punish on that whip. Oh,
there's that tiger knee, but that was improperly spaced and correctly punished from Kawano. Into the corner we go. Let's see if that B skill 2 comes.
Rago just does it now. Wake up EX. Respect me, says Bonchan.
He's going to need a lot to make this comeback. He takes the EX. Not looking good for Kawano.
Kawano's got stick reactions. He can react to any normal into the EX Parabellum. We know he's looking for it, going for the shimmy there. Oh, it's almost over. There's the forward throw now. Last chance here. There's no meter for Bonchan. EX DP can't save him.
The pressure has to come now.
No,
you cannot jump in on him. Why, Tess?
You cannot jump in on this man. The skies are always protected. Air traffic control asks Sagat where the planes are at. He's always got his eye on the sky.
The ground to air defense set up like an Iron Dome. This is he's just too good. Like I don't know how Kawano thought he could get over. He had been conditioned to not jump, and yet still went for a last attempt, and he paid with his life.
He tried to play a slow footsie game at the end to bait Bonchan into using a tiger shot that he could then clear a jump with, get a big combo in the corner, and go for the Oki for the round. But Bonchan, so patient. I mean, if we talk about patient Street Fighter players with solid defense, there's no way that Bonchan is ever not a part of that conversation.
This is true. Sometimes you have to respect, even if they don't win, you know, the top place all the time. I think about Fudo as well being really consistent. And that's like a skill in itself.
It really is, especially on this game where defensive tools are not exactly in abundance, you know? Being able to weather the storm, block out, know when to block, have the reactions to block all the overheads, and know exactly when and when not to tech throws, that's an art in itself, for sure.
I feel like Phenom, too, belongs in that class of really consistent players when he does come out to these international tournaments. He does tend to fare among the European players with a solid record against the competition.
I wouldn't put him in the same category in terms of defense, but yes, I agree with you 100%. In terms of consistency, this man performs well in Europe and overseas, which is really impressive.
Well, he has consistently embarrassed his opponents often in the corner with multiple command throws.
I remember that Canada Cup, right, against Daigo in the right corner of the screen. Oh,
how many was it?
I think it was 4. I don't know, he did a cheeky one after the stun. Does that count?
Yeah.
All right, so here we go. It's going to be Sagat Nikali now. We are going, well, sub. I would say sub. Former mains, perhaps. How about we start there?
And it was really Bonchan, you know, taking a page out of the playbook, perhaps from Punk, but also Phenom as well in switching over to Karen. So yes, I would. Oh, that's going to be punished.
That's going to get punished. All right. Oh, Tiger knees. And look at the space he got back there from that one exchange.
And the Tiger knee allows you to be airborne to get over that ground pound.
The Kara low shot here, keeping the pressure up. He is jumping here.
This is more difficult than it looks to perfectly time the jump overs.
Against a Sagat that's as efficient as Bonchan, yes. I wouldn't say that, you know, as a standard matchup, it's very difficult for Nicole.
Oh my God! Are we going to count?
See, oh,
okay.
He does one that time, but
perhaps he hurt us.
Gets the meaty standing medium kick.
Tries to draw out the DP.
He was trying to bait it out. Oh man.
Oh no.
Bonchan with a chance to. Oh, okay, he's out. The EX stomp. Oh.
That doesn't connect.
Nope.
Another stomp.
I think he was out of range for the light stomp as well.
Oh, the Kara!
Oh, a Tiger uppercut. Bonchan nods his head. He had it all set up from the get. The low Tiger shot into that max range. Kara fierce Tiger uppercut.
Under normal circumstances, that is a relatively safe jump, but not against Bonchan, is it?
Definitely not against Bonchan. He was looking for that.
From 3/4 screen away with the Kara DP. Very nice. Oh, jumps back.
Wow,
that was close. That was close.
The B skill. That could have been dangerous. The reversal, get off me.
Charged up is Sagat. Oh, lands on the fireball.
Slow one.
I think he's using
the Hanuman charge, the plus frames. Phenom pinned down here, uses the EX to get some space back.
That is not a common sight to see with Nicole pinned down.
Indeed. And Bonchan working at that perfect range. So hard for
the activation now.
Yep.
Okay, interrupted the charge?
Yes, he doesn't have it now. And somehow Phenom has managed to walk Bonchan to the corner.
Micro inching forward, finally knocks him off his feet.
Short range V skill. Get off me. He reverses him off. Closes the space down, gets out the corner. Bonchan now.
Defense.
And another V reversal. Not interested in that corner game whatsoever.
A lot of gray light, 20 seconds on the clock now. He's going to chase after his breath.
This is looking rough.
Oh, a little too far.
Oh my goodness me. No EX. Oh, he gets a back throw.
What?
Oh my goodness me. Oh,
no punish.
It's going to take it. The chip damage.
Oh!
And the steal. The steal from Phenom on the last second just about got that crouch medium into the light stop to give him the life lead. Now we're going to a final round, Z.
Bonchan tried to run away. He had the life lead. Phenom able to take it in the final seconds.
Oh my goodness me, this is so close. Phenom exceedingly patient in that round.
Oh,
just didn't give up.
Wow,
oh,
no. Okay,
the punish.
He's going to make this count.
Nice, big damage there. Oh, the DP. Oh, the backdash, but he doesn't get away with it.
Use a normal throw, so he recovered in time to punish.
Oh,
the wake up.
Come on, Grab Next is going to do it for Phenom, but he breaks out. Bonchan needs something big here. V reversal, no V trigger now for Bonchan. This could be bad. Oh.
Ground pound right in front of him.
Oh, perfect range. Oh, but that's going to be it. Yes. Crouch, medium kick, activation gave him a free shot. Bonchan smiles as the game ends. Phenom, great performance there from him. It was looking rough, wasn't it, for a while?
That was an amazing performance. Phenom, and he's been playing a lot of sets this weekend too, so I think it gave him a nice preview of what his competition was going to be, and it really paid off for him there.
All right, so Tokido having a few words with Bonchan here, sits down with his hitbox. Does that mean we're going to see Urian come up?
This is a tell, I believe, depending on the device that Tokido plugs into. The PC will determine largely who he will be using. And he has said that the hitbox really is a superior weapon controller. Oh, they're chanting Norway.
The chants going on. I have to say that throughout this entire week that these guys have been here, Tokido has been an absolute gladiator. He has been playing 12 hours straight every single day on the stream, playing anybody and everybody from any country in Europe and the guys here for the Kumite. And he has been running sets, first to 10s, first to 20s. He's just been non-stop.
He actually had a map of places where he had fought against, online during the time we were in quarantine. And he had colored countries that he had played against, and he wanted to expand the entire map. So he's a really curious individual, wants to know more about the world. And if you happen to be one of those lucky few that came across Tokido during his week of isolation, you were very lucky because you got to play against him in situations which you.
All right, so here we go.
Otherwise.
This is actually a serious game now, Z, because these are the main characters. This would be the matchup if these guys played tomorrow. So this is real, and you can see on the face of the expression how serious this is. These guys have been playing in casuals, and it's been fairly even between these two. In a 2 out of 3, this is 100% 50-50.
Oh, that's punishable at that range, but only got a jab off of it.
But he's managed to get Tokido into the corner. And Urian doesn't have the best escape. I mean, EX headbutt is a risk in itself.
You would expect, though, that
the metallic spear. Oh my goodness, the footsies from Phenom. What is this man on? Look at this space control here. Reading the air, so to speak. People know the dangers.
Just a neutral jump.
I mean,
now in this situation, Urian cannot throw out the sphere because Karen has the meter, and of course Phenom has the reactions to just EX right through it.
This is the subliminal language, right? The resources.
Oh, they're just completely letting their controller go.
Technical failure.
Oh, okay. I thought they were.
All right, so Tokido has decided to forfeit a round because he has to open his hitbox.
What happened there?
I'm not sure, but it looks like we've got a technical failure. Tokido's sitting there with his hitbox opened up. He's connecting wires and stuff. I think we just had a disconnect. We're going to be getting the action back underway very shortly, but he is going to forfeit the round to Phenom now. So Phenom is going to start with 1 round up, moving into second. Punk over there exclaiming that the round was in Phenom's hands regardless. Continue? Are we going to continue?
No, Tokido just wants to, I believe, button check that his alterations
10 seconds
are
left, and we're going to let Phenom, of course, take this one. All right. All right, so yeah. Unfortunate malfunction for the hitbox there. Tokido had to forfeit that round, but here we go. We are live, round 2.
It looked like he was playing perfectly fine, and then it just dropped. I wonder what happened. A good confirm there from Phenom.
Max range crouch medium kick into Tenko. EX headbutt, a rare EX headbutt from Tokido. Has he been saving that?
Nah, he's been throwing those out. He's been throwing those out.
Oh man,
this is gonna hurt with a crumble.
Yes. Orochi.
Into the corner we go.
Oh, this is not looking good for Tokido. This is 1 game and off. Almost has ages. Oh, the EX tackle.
That got slightly nerfed over this week with a closer recovery.
Oh my goodness me. Look at this. Speaking of too close for comfort, this is looking bad for Tokido, and there's the ages.
Ah, and he missed his control.
Oh.
He had the jab, okay.
He tried.
He's gonna switch sides here.
We've got the setup. What side? Oh, he goes behind, but Phenom blocks
to make it safe. He's burning all his meter. Where's the confirm?
There was no headbutt, Z. Where was it?
He's used all his resources.
He's jumping back. He's got no meter, no ages. There are no resources to help him. One more hit's gonna do it, though. Next hit's gonna take it, but who's gonna get it, Z?
Oh, the low medium. That's been nerfed. Low shorts. Flailing all the buttons.
No anti-air! No anti-air from Tokido. The forward medium was not there.
What was that? Why would that hit under those circumstances? And a group hug.
They are elated here. The team victory. Smug popping off. Wow, what a first round match we just witnessed. That was so tense at the end there. It looked like Tokido had it, but he missed the fierce headbutt after the crouching jab, and that cost him everything. Oh, wow. Explosive.
That's what it's going to take